Let's go. Okay, we got a lot of background noise going on. We're going to try to make this the final recording in the chrysalis. I'm using the mouth guard to stop some of the popping that I noticed in some of the other audio recordings. Test 1, 2. I'm Daruth the Human, and I'm reading Native American legends as retold by. All right, first thing. I wish I had booze. There we go. I'm Daruth the Human, and I'm reading Native American legends as retold by Zitkala Sa, a writer and translator with the Yankton Dakota Tribe of the late 1800s. I'm trying to read these stories just cold so I can get the same emotional reaction to hearing them, but I'm also trying to make sure I don't make too many mistakes. One of the characters that appears pretty regularly in these stories by Zitkala Sa is Iktomi. I'm going to read a little intro by him. I've read it many times, and I'm also doing this partially as a audio experiment with this popping scenario. See if this mouth guard helps. Iktomi is a spider fairy. He wears brown deerskin leggings with long, soft fringes on either side and tiny beaded moccasins on his feet. His long black hair is parted in the middle and wrapped with red bands. Each red... My sinuses are already stopped up, plus I'm trying to breathe through this thing. Iktomi is a spider fairy. He wears brown deerskin leggings with soft... Iktomi is a spider fairy. He wears brown deerskin leggings with long, soft fringes on either side and tiny beaded moccasins on his feet. His long black hair is parted in the middle and wrapped with red bands. Each round braid hangs over a small brown ear and falls forward over his shoulders. He even paints his funny face with red and yellow and draws big black rings around his eyes. He wears a deerskin jacket with bright-colored beads sewed tightly on it. Iktomi dresses like a real Dakota brave. In truth, his paint and deerskins are the best part of him, if ever dress is part of man or fairy. Iktomi is a wily fellow. His hands are always kept in mischief. He prefers to spread a snare rather than to earn the smallest thing with honest hunting. Why, he laughs outright with wide open mouth when some simple folk are caught in a trap sure and fast. He never dreams another lives so bright as he. Often his own conceit leads him hard against the common sense of simpler people. Poor Iktomi cannot help being a little imp, and so long as he is a naughty fairy, he cannot find a single friend. No one helps him when he is in trouble. No one really loves him. Those who come to admire his handsome beaded jacket and long fringed leggings soon go away sick and tired of his vain words and heartless laughter. This story is Dance in a Buffalo Skull. It was night upon the prairie. Overhead the stars were twinkling bright their red and yellow lights. The moon was young. A silvery thread among the stars, it soon drifted low beneath the horizon. Upon the ground the land was pitchy black. There were night people on the plain who loved the dark. Amid the black level land they meet to frolic under the stars. Amid the black level land they meet to frolic under the stars. Then when their sharp ears hear any strange footfalls, nigh they scamper away into the deep shadows of night. There they are safely hid from all dangers, they think. Thus it was that one very black night, afar off from the edge of the level land, out of the wooded river bottom glided forth two balls of fire. They came further and further into the level land. They grew darker and brighter. The dark hid the body of the creature with those fiery eyes. They came on and on, just over the tops of the prairie grass. It might have been a wildcat prowling low on soft, stealthy feet. Slowly but surely the terrible eyes drew nearer and nearer to the heart of the level land. There, in a huge old buffalo skull, was a gay feast and dance. Tiny little field mice were singing and dancing in a circle to the boom of a wee drum. They were laughing and talking among themselves while their chosen singers sang aloud a merry tune. They built a small open fire within the center of their queer dance house. The light streamed out of the buffalo skull through all the curious sockets and holes. A light on the plain in the middle of the night was an unusual thing. A light on the plain in the middle of the night was an unusual thing, but so were the mice. Okay. A light on the plain in the middle of the night was an unusual thing, but so merry were the mice, they did not hear the king of sleepy birds disturbed by the unaccustomed fire. A pack of wolves, fearing to come nigh this night fire, stood together a little distance away, and, turning their pointed noses to the stars, howled and yelped most dismally. Even the cry of the wolves was unheeded by the mice within the lighted buffalo skull. They were feasting and dancing. They were singing and laughing, those funny little furry fellows. All the while, across the dark, from out the low river bottom came that pair of fiery eyes, now closer and more swift, now fiercer and glaring. The eyes moved toward the buffalo skull. All unconscious of those fearful eyes, the happy mice nibbled at dried roots and venison. The singers had started another song. The drummers beat the time, turning their heads from side to side in rhythm. In a ring around the fire hopped the mice, each bouncing hard on his 2 hind feet. Some carried their tails over their arms, while others trailed them proudly along. Ah, very near are those round yellow eyes. Very low to the ground they seem to creep toward the buffalo skull. All of a sudden, they slide into the eye sockets of the old skull. "Spirit of the buffalo!" squeaked a frightened mouse as he jumped out from a hole in the back part of the skull. "A cat! A cat!" cried another mice. "A cat! A cat!" cried other mice as they scrambled out of the holes, both large and snug. Noiselessly they ran away into the dark. "A cat! A cat!" cried other mice as they scrambled out of holes, both large and snug. Noiselessly they ran away into the dark. The Toad and the Boy. The waterfowls were flying over the marshy lakes. It was now the hunting season. Indian men with bows and arrows were wading waist deep amid the wild rice. Nearby, within their wigwams, the wives were roasting wild duck and making down pillows. In the largest tepee sat a young mother wrapping red porcupine quills about the long fringes of a buckskin cushion. Beside her lay a black-eyed baby boy, cooing and laughing. Reaching and kicking upward with his tiny hands and feet, he played with the dangling strings of his heavy beaded bonnet, hanging empty on a tent pole above him. At length the mother laid aside her red quills and white sinew threads. The baby fell fast asleep. Leaning on one hand and softly whispering a little lullaby, she threw a light cover over her baby. It was almost time for the return of her husband. Remembering there were no this Zitkala Sa, the Yankton Dakota Sioux, Sioux, tribe member who wrote this stuff. She definitely has her own voice. She has a very rhythmic way of writing also, I noticed.